Join TWR in 2023. TWR Wednesday SITREP. Stay tuned at the end for new upcoming events. How's TWR doing thus far? All right, let's start out with this SPY swing, guys. We went ahead and entered this at 1. And also, don't forget, we got that time and date stamp on all of our alerts because we keep things 100% around here. And boom, we went ahead and closed out there at 246. Left a few to swing, but that's $146 per contract. AMD swing, we entered at 165. There's that time and date stamp. $45 per contract. But wait a second. Look at that thing almost at the closing bell, guys. That went from 165 to 7. That is killer. Gonna be paid tomorrow, baby. And finally, we got our meta swing. Entered this swing at 170. There's the date and time. Another one. $87 per contract. And man, I am glad we sold a put. Did you guys see Meta after hours? Freaking was on fire, man. That pushed from like 150 all the way up to 183, man. That was insane. I'm normally not one of those guys that hangs everything on luck, but you know what? Sometimes luck does play a part in making that money. $100 to $1,000 per day is possible when you're a TWR market warrior. So quit wasting money. That's not making money. Join TWR. The links are in the description. What's hot and what's not. All right, so the markets kind of started off low and then just absolutely just skyrocketed after Jerome Powell's speech. However, this is a typical case of what I like to call too much and too soon, guys. So we are expecting downtrend profit-taking pressure. So here's the deal. If the markets cannot keep the elevated price and continue to another elevated level, what's going to happen is it's going to fluctuate a little bit, and then people are going to say, you know what, it was a nice ride, I'm going to go ahead and cash in and take my money, and it'll probably cause a cascading effect on down, which could also move some of the big tickers, the Apple, the Microsoft, the Teslas, the Meta, and all those things that just absolutely destroyed it here recently. You can move those down a little bit lower. So we got to pay attention, follow the money, follow the trend. And this is the story that gives you the idea on what made it go, man. It was the little word, okay, disinflation. So markets go all in on disinflation. Look at the day ahead in European and global markets on the Wayne Cole. Pushback, what pushback? The main theme ahead of the federal announcement was that Jerome Powell would definitely, totally, absolutely push back against the recent rapid easing in the market conditions given inflation was still sky high. Instead, what the market took from Powell's speech seemed to go out of his way to do the opposite. The first question on the conference invited him to scold the markets, and he notes conditions had tightened a lot last year. Given another opportunity, he kind of pedaled around a little bit, and basically what this is getting to is Jerome Powell wouldn't go one direction and he wouldn't go the other direction. So it wasn't necessarily dovish, but it wasn't hawkish, and so he kept saying this disinflation term, and the market just absolutely exploded on that, going boom. But I do want to say, more hikes are coming. So I want you to enjoy the trend. We ride the momentum, but don't get too comfortable, man, because this could all turn on a dime. All it would take is for Apple to have, subpar earnings, and Amazon to have subpar earnings, and the market would come crashing down just as fast as it went up. It'll come back down even quicker. I promise you that. Stocks I like for trades. All right, so here's the earnings list of the ones that we got coming up and closing out this week. I want you guys to focus on these. Right there, the big three, Amazon, Apple, and Alphabet. Focus on those. Those are after the bell on Thursday. Now, I promise you guys this, okay? One of these juggernauts is going to absolutely crash and burn, and you want to make sure you're on the right side of the tracks, because that could be an extremely big payday. And honorable mention for Qualcomm and Starbucks as well. But Apple's the big one. Apple, Amazon, and Alphabet, those are the ones that everybody's watching, specifically Apple. All right, so let's talk about it, okay? Meta, absolutely just huge run, all right? And mind you, a run on only the buyback type of news, okay? Because the earnings were not stellar. So when I see things like this, I automatically think pullback city, and that purple line is where I think a cool down potentially could come. It may not happen tomorrow if the market just keeps singing, it just keeps running and everything like that. We'll just have to adjust it and play by the ear. But I probably will not be going long on Meta from this level because it just ran too hard. All right, so I'm looking for the rejection and the consolidation at the top, and then I'm going to ride this back down. SPY. Now, all these charts that you're going to see are going to look very similar. They all have ran extremely hard, all right? So with SPY, we kind of rejected once we hit above that 410 area, pulled back down. We ended up coming up a little bit, and then after hours, we pushed out to the 412. But I do think pullback is in order because, again, too much too soon. And typically when you see those orange lines, right, that's kind of the level where we were kind of consolidating in within that range. Yes, we dipped a little bit below, we dipped a little bit up, but typically that's about a $3 or $4 range, and we absolutely just blew way past that $6-7 and stuff like that. So pulling back a little bit, 409, 408, that makes sense to me on a cool down. And again, if the market is strong and it just keeps pumping, then this may continue to go up. But listen, people are going to start profit taking at some point, and they're going to come out pretty heavily because they've been in this stuff. Example, SPY, they've been in SPY since 380s, right? They want them secure their money. They want to ensure that their money is secure. They're riding the momentum, but as soon as that momentum starts wavering and it starts hitting that rejection, starts pinging at the top, they're going to start pulling their money, and it's going to fall quick. So just be ready to pivot on the swivel and make sure that you're ready to ride the momentum both ways, up and down. Apple, another one. Look, similar chart right here. I'm actually a little negative on Apple. I think, it would be prudent of the big juggernaut companies. Apple would be the one that wouldn't be able to do so well with the iPhone sales being down and stuff like that. I just got a feeling. I know it's all speculative, but I'm keeping my short position on Apple, and I think that it's going to run a little bit, but it's going to stay within a range. And then I do believe that when earnings time comes, we're going to see a decline because I just don't think the phone sales are there. I don't think people are buying the expensive ass phones like they were, and I think that they're going to have some issues with future forecast. Amazon, another story right there. Okay, Amazon pushed pretty hard. We were at that 99 to 103 for a while, and then we just exploded up 103 to 109. Okay, that's a little bit of a push. I think a cool down period, retesting that 106, that 105 area makes sense. And of course, this could run, but I'm going to be betting on the rejection up here at the top and a cool down period to go retest some of those lower levels to see if we actually can hold it. Earnings will be an extreme tell on this one. And right now, a lot of analysts have a lot of issues with Amazon's underlying principles and the structure of their business. So it could come into play when they got their earnings. Google, another one that I think is going to suffer from this ad plane. So, again, look at all these charts. They look all similar. They're coming out of that consolidation range, and they just exploded up past normal ranges. So all those purple lines, those are where I think that a cool down period for retesting of those lower levels would make sense to see if they can hold that level. They could bounce extremely and then continue on, but I do think we hit that rejection, we come back down, we cool down a little bit, and we retest those levels. Now, Qualcomm will be interesting because AMD absolutely just took off on a tear, okay? And Qualcomm, is kind of in that same realm, right? And it didn't take off as much as you thought it would in a sympathy type of play. But again, it might be because everyone was pushing into AMD and stuff like that. Now, this one will be interesting because Intel absolutely got destroyed on earnings. AMD, they didn't have the best earnings, but their forward guidance was good, so they just absolutely took off. It'll be interesting to see what Qualcomm does. Qualcomm is linked with that Apple thing. If Apple decides to pull their revenue from Qualcomm and they future forecast that as going to be like a negative pull onto their margins, this could absolutely get destroyed as well. Now, this is one of the exceptions. I actually like this chart right here. I think we're in a decent range. It didn't push too much. It didn't push too little. I like this in a range. I got that 108 area. It's kind of like the battleground, the middle ground. Now, if we can hold above this current level we're at, above this 109, 110 type of area, I think that we could break out from here and go on for a similar breakout of $2 or $3 to the upside. However, if we can't find that support and we go back up to that 110, 111 area and we fail, I think that a rejection back down to the 108, 106 area is appropriate, and we probably could see some decline. And Tesla, man, Tesla has just been on a tear, and sooner or later, people are going to start profit taking, okay? Because look at this. Tesla just, earlier in mid-January was, $120. And now we're looking at 180, okay? There's going to be people that are going to profit take, and they're waiting for their exit because they're just waiting for a little bit of rejection. How much higher can it go? And then people are going to start pulling out of this, and they're going to come out pretty heavy. So I'm expecting for a decent pullback. Tesla can move $15 to $25 any given day, and we'll just wait for the rejection from the top, and we'll ride the momentum down. So we're being patient with this one. I'm not going to get into calls at this level. It could push past 200, and I might miss out on that $15 jump, but I'm going to make it up when I ride the momentum back down on the downside. That's it, team. Don't forget, upcoming TWR classes. Plan your battles with Traders War Room classes. Join TWR on 5 February at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time and learn how to control your emotions and manage your risk. Listen, emotional trading is an account killer every single time. But managing your risk and planning your attack assists going from this to this. Calm, cool, and collected. So you can win at trading and gain consistent profitability. Join us on 5 February and learn how to manage your risk and control your emotions while you trade. Going from this to this. Register today at traderswarroom.com/upcoming classes or use the link in the description. I'll see you there. Traders War Room Trading University is happy to announce open registration for our next option fundamental course. Did Wall Street make you feel like a complete loser in 2022? Or was everything going great and you blinked just for a split second and got repeatedly kicked in the you-know-what over and over again? TWR is here to help you. Our university's fundamental course is an in-depth 5-week-long course that's done live via Zoom platform. Our virtual classroom is where you can interact with the instructor, other students, or see copies of the classes right there on the platform, and rivals that of traditional online education. Testimonials from previous class graduates are proof that our cradle-to-the-grave approach works in giving you consistently profitable skills to trade options. Registration is open today. Links are in the description or go to traderswarroom.com. I will see you there. Let's go to war. Join the TWR Investment Club. Check out our free chat to learn more. Make the market bend the knee in 2023. Join TWR and bow to no one. The link is in the description or on the website at traderswarroom.com. Let's go to war.